arrived to pick us up. He had two other people. He arrived in a van. There was two other people with him. These people were from a different branch of the service, but similar ranks to myself and my team leader in that area. The young airman got out, went into our barracks and checked us out. That would pretty much be the routine for the next, well, for every working day there. He would come in the morning and pick us up. Sometimes we were picked up first. Sometimes we were picked up second. The other two that we picked up were next door in a different barracks. He was tasked with them as well, from what I gathered. From there, we would drive down like a frontage road directly towards the southern end of the complex. Not much to see again. A lot of logistical type equipment around. Nothing impressive. That's where it gets the real backlot feel. I mean, there's just things sitting around. Like, it's not real glamorous at all. But we would go down to the southern end, and there wasn't much past this on the south side. But there's shops. I call them shops. Some people might call them hangars. They're not as big as you would think of a hangar, as I would think of a hangar. Over the years, I've referred to it as shops. But there's a line of them. They have big doors. And we proceeded to arrive at one. There is several vehicles around, lots of other people. The hangar is open. And we get out. Airman takes us over to meet two senior Air Force people that were there. Met them real briefly. And then we stood around for about 10 minutes. There's security there. There was 3 uniformed security people. When I say uniformed, I mean wearing official uniforms with badges, real nice uniforms. Not military, but government. I do not know what exactly they were. I'm sure it's not a secret or anything like that. I'm just not familiar with them. Gave me the impression, it reminded me of uniformed Secret Service. I doubt they were, but similar in appearance. They did not have firearms. I could tell you, though, that they normally do. The reason why I know this is I did witness empty holsters, as well as their specific gear that they were wearing was set up in a manner that you could tell that there was a holster that was supposed to be there that was not there. They did not have visible firearms at the time, but it appeared that they normally do. Every day we checked in with these 3 people. Real basic. There was a list of what you couldn't have on the scene, and they collected it. The first day they took my team leader's laptop and our phones. That's all we brought that we couldn't have, and they just kept it right there. There's a little table area, and there was something on that table. I had no idea what it is. Electronic equipment that was not connected to our project, that was maintained by security people, these 3 security people. During the course of the days at the shop, one security person would be inside at this table. One security person would be around outside, and there was a third that would kind of come and go. On this table, there was some kind of electronic gear. I don't know what it did. It was not imposing. I think it might have either jammed transmissions or identified transmissions. I'm not sure. I could be totally wrong, but I don't know. That was the impression I got. You signed in with these people. You turned over anything you had. That was it. You were patted down, but you weren't asked to empty pockets or nothing like that. So we're there for this project. There's a number of people that arrived there each day. For the duration of the project that I was involved in, it was the same people. No one added to the group and no one left the group. But they arrived from different places in white vans or pickup trucks, occasionally cars. They had escorts, as we did too. Our escorts did not stay. They would leave. There was other military personnel from various branches of the service. There was civilian clothed individuals, not many. As far as who was attending this, it was a series of presentations. The people conducting it were two senior Air Force personnel. I believe were the overseers, as they always had a presence. They always had a dominating presence. Two civilians that were representatives of the technology or the manufacture, or the development, whatever aspect, I don't know, but they knew what they were doing. And a member of the government from outside of the military. Those people were responsible for us being there. They were in control of the situation. They were the leaders of the presentations. So as far as the project, it involved, it was a multi-layered situation that had sensitive material coming from different directions. At the time, extremely sensitive, again, before September 11th. These days, not so sensitive. I've actually seen elements of this on television, things like National Geographic or the Discovery Channel or whatever. But at the time, very sensitive. I'm not going to say exactly because it wasn't many people involved at this point. I don't want to be identified. But I'll tell you, it had to do with weapon systems, guidance, and avionics. And on each end of those, there was materials that were sensitive. On the avionics end, on the weapon system end, the technology end, I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts that were coming together here that needed people from various branches of the military doing various jobs that were going to need to be in the loop of something like this to be operational. Around the shop that we were in, there was tables for everybody, chairs. There was like a front presentation area, large television, whiteboard. There was cameras set up. The presentations were recorded. The labs were not, not labs, but like, there were presentations, and then there's a lot of things in this building to be presented and then broken down and understood. I call those labs, when you're hands-on, breaking stuff down, having it being explained to you. Those parts were not videotaped. I think simply because it would have been hard to do with the amount of people. There wasn't like a person videotaping, like the cameras were set up towards the presentation area. The place was filled with a lot of redundant things, multiple pieces and parts of various things in various stages. There were also a lot of things that weren't there simply because it wasn't feasible. But at that point in time, at that part of the project, every day, every morning we went there, and every afternoon we left. It was not a long day, and we would break for lunch. For lunch, we had an hour. We were picked up by our airmen, and the four of us, my team leader, myself, and the other two individuals from another branch of the military, would be transported. He'd ask us where we want to go. We could do whatever. He just brought us back over there. He would drop us at the dining facility, or sometimes we went back to the barracks. And then he would scoop us up and bring us back over there. That schedule didn't really change at all, really. One day it was somebody else, not him, the airman. But really it didn't change. There was a couple instances where we rode with different people that was kind of loose. Most of the time it was with the two guys, the two other individuals that the airman was responsible for. Sometimes it would be who's going to the dining facility, come in this vehicle or whatever. That did happen a couple times. But we would just sign out. We would sign back in. When we'd sign out for lunch, we could have our materials back if we wanted. And it was just that simple. Really wasn't complicated. Really wasn't secure any more than the rest of the overall situation. We reported to the shop for 5 days. The doors, the big bay hangar doors, remained open 4 out of the 5 days. One day they were closed because of temperature. Other than that, they remained open. No presence of security outside of the three individuals, three uniformed individuals. We did this for 5 days. The 6th day, we had off. There was nothing happening on the 6th day. During that 6th day, we went to the rec center to go swimming, and the pool was not open. We couldn't go swimming. Other than that, my day off there, I didn't do anything. I played on the internet at the time. This was a while ago. The internet wasn't what it was today, and I wasn't on it a lot, but there was just like internet like right there, computer and everything for you to go on, multiple